Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Happy Cat Crypto here. So as you can tell, a little bit of a change on screen. There is now an avatar in the right hand corner which mimics everything that I say. I've also got a web camera coming so that it will track my hand movements, it will track my eyes, it will pretty much do everything that I'm doing when I'm talking, which just gives a little bit more extra, I feel, towards the stream and stuff like that. So I hope you guys like it. And then let's just dive straight into it. Before we do, folks, remember, I am contactable. You can get at me. All of my official links to my official, ways you can DM me are up on my Twitter. Okay, so you've got the Discord, you've got the Telegram chat group, you've got my personal Telegram, and the Discord is my own personal Discord. So you can DM me on many platforms now, apart from Twitter. You can always check to see if the person messaging you is fake and if it's actually me. Don't forget, we've got the link to the Lunk Penguins website there as well. So first of all, let's go over to Crypto Bubbles, and as you can see, it's a mixed day. It's a normal day in crypto. Things are going up, things are going down, nothing quite happening yet. But overall, for Lunar Classic, it's just been more of a kind of slight downtrend, but more tracking and crabbing sideways, so to speak. So let's go over quickly to the pretty much what I'm going to be using is you today. I've done my research, I've done my own due diligence on kind of which ones are the best ones to go off, which ones are not. And it seems you today really covers quite a lot. So you've got a Shiba Eternity, which is dropped, and pretty much it's like, people are saying it's like Pokemon. It gives the Pokemon feeling from way back in the day. It's a card game and stuff like that. So fair play to the Shiba team for getting to where they have got to with what they've gotten to. But what is interesting for us is we have so many more things coming in the next few weeks and months, so to speak. You've got many games launching and a metaverse launcher. Well, two of them are metaverses, so to speak, because Metagloria is like a small metaverse on its own. So now going over to the title of this video, which is the Cosmos blockchain. Now, the Cosmos network. Now, there's so many different projects, coins, ideas, and protocols and stuff like that on this ecosystem. So if you go over to ecosystem, there's that many, they have to have categories. And when I say there's loads of them, there is loads of them. As you can see, you've got ones like Anchor Protocol on here, but if you tap search and then just put Terra, you can see that it's on there. And there's loads of other ones, Loop Finance, there's so many, the encoder system, which is really good. The Akash network you might have heard of before, I've heard of it many times. But there's just so many different kind of projects on here, and they're not all officially vetted, as you can see in the bottom left hand corner, but it's good to know that it's not just Terra Lunar Classic that uses the Cosmos SDK, so to speak. And if you want to build, you can build. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. They've got a document system here which introduces you into everything, and like this in itself is what is behind everything. So this is what the devs have been learning, is how the SDK works, how Cosmos works, the Tendermint consensus and stuff like that. And I've been in a few spaces recently, and I've been listening to a few spaces recently, and it just seems like everybody seems to want to talk about, educating people, helping people, but we just see that lack of people that are actually doing it, so to speak. But ultimately, there are good people out there. There are lots of people that are educating people through spaces. That's why the ones that I join them to help educate people, as well as the people that are currently in there. So going back to the Cosmos SDK, like I said, there is so many projects on the Cosmos SDK, like so many, and each one of these can become interoperable for our movement, for our coin, meaning that we can interact with that coin, we can do stuff with it, which also allows then a bridge back from that side to the Terra Lunar Classic side. And it's really going to help in the future of our blockchain, because people might not know what this blockchain is right now, and then they hear about it and go, oh blimey, that's actually a lot better than where I am now. Oh, it's on the SDK. I can quite easily move that over. So it's It's very interesting. I always find stuff like this very interesting. So let's just go through it quickly. Introduction. Strictly speaking, Cosmos is a decentralized network of independent parallel blockchains, each powered by BFT consensus algorithms like Tendermint consensus. In other words, Cosmos is an ecosystem of blockchains that can scale and interoperate with each other. Before Cosmos blockchains were siloed and were unable to communicate with each other. They were hard to build and could only handle a small amount of transactions per second. Cosmos solves these problems with a new technical vision. In order to understand this vision, we need to go back to the fundamentals of blockchain technology. A blockchain could be described as a digital ledger maintained by a set of validators that remains correct even if some of the validators, less than a third, are malicious. Each party stores a copy of the ledger on their computer and it updates according to the rules defined by the protocol when they receive blocks of transactions. The goal of the blockchain technology is to make sure the ledger is correctly replicated, meaning that each honest party sees the same version of the ledger at any given moment. The main benefit of a blockchain technology is the ability for parties to share a ledger without having to rely on a central authority. Blockchains are decentralized. The first and most famous application of blockchain technology today is Bitcoin, a decentralized currency. Now that we have a better understanding of what a blockchain is from a high-level perspective, let us look at the definition of a blockchain with a more technical angle. A blockchain is a deterministic state machine replicated on full nodes that retains consensus safety as long as less than a third of its maintainers are Byzantine. Let's break this down. A state machine is just a fancy word for a program that holds a state and modifies it when it receives inputs. There is a state which can represent different things depending on an application. For example, a token balances for a cryptocurrency, and transactions that modify the state, example by subtracting balances from one account and adding them to another. Deterministic means that you will replay the same transactions from the same genesis state and you will always end up with the same resultant state. Consensus safety refers to the fact that every honest node on which the state machine is replicated should see the same state at the same time. That was a lot of sames in that sentence. When nodes receive blocks of transactions, they verify that it is valid, meaning that each transaction is valid and that the block itself was validated by more than 2/3 of the maintainers, called validators. Safety would be guaranteed as long as less than a third of validators are Byzantine, i.e. malicious. From an architecture standpoint, blockchains can be divided into 3 conceptual layers: application, networking, and consensus. So responsible for updating the state given a set of transactions, i.e. processing transactions. For networking, you've got responsible for the propagation of transactions and consensus related messages. Consensus enables nodes to agree on the state of a system. The state machine is the same as the application layer. It defines the state of the application and the state transition functions. The other layers are responsible for replicating the state machine on all nodes that connect to a network. And as you can see here, like a kind of like visual breakdown to paint an image in your mind a little bit better. So how does Cosmos fit in the broader blockchain ecosystem? So you've got the Bitcoin story, you've got the Ethereum story and stuff like that. I'll leave that to you folks to come and look at this. I think you've got a good gauge of what exactly the Cosmos SDK is, what it does and what it can do. So let's go over to what is Tendermint BFT and the ABCI. And it's important for you guys to know exactly what the Tendermint is when people are saying about Tendermint consensus and stuff like that. So until recently, building a blockchain required building all 3 layers: networking, consensus, and application from the ground up. Ethereum simplified the development of decentralized applications by providing a virtual machine blockchain on which anyone could deploy custom logic in the form of smart contracts. However, it did not simplify the development of blockchains themselves. Much like Bitcoin, Go Ethereum remains a monolithic tech stack that is difficult to fork from and customize. This is where Tendermint, created by JWAMB in 2014, came in. Tendermint BFT is a solution that packages the networking and consensus layers of the blockchain into a generic engine, allowing developers to focus on application development as opposed to the complex underlying protocol. As a result, Tendermint saves hundreds of hours of development time. Note that Tendermint also designates the name of the Byzantine fault-tolerant consensus algorithm used with the Tendermint BFT engine. And then for more on that, like I said, you can pretty much click in, you can have a look at all of this, and you can really get a deep dive description on exactly what it all does. But that in itself is a really good explanation exactly what the Tendermint is, what it does. And it's pretty much like a format that's ready built, ready to go, and developers can just grab that and then just work on, you know, the other things that they've stated. So this is really good. I really like this. You can do this with any language like Java, C++, Go, stuff like that, which is Rust Go and things like that. So I don't want to drain your minds too much. I don't want to feed you too much too quickly and stuff like that, but we're going to be doing more videos on the Cosmos SDK, getting you guys up to date and really bringing you up to scratch and trying to get everybody to understand exactly what this blockchain is, because I feel like then people might think to themselves, oh, actually I can incorporate this into that. And so folks, have a really nice day, stay safe. I'm not a financial advisor. Beware of scammers, beware of doppelgangers, and catch you in the next one.